everyone, and welcome to a very special story time here at Jones Family Farms with my special guest, Mr. Claus. Hello, Santa.
Good.
How
you
are
doing?
you?
Very well, thank you. Very well.
Thank you for joining us
My
for
pleasure.
story time and reading a really special book for us today. Boys and girls, we are reading Dasher by Matt Tavares. And it is about a brave little doe who met Santa and changed Christmas forever. Now, I'm sure you know Dasher very well, Santa.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So you know this story.
I know the story.
So you may have heard of a certain red-nosed reindeer that was chosen to guide Santa's sleigh one foggy Christmas Eve. You've probably heard of the 8 other reindeer, too. Maybe you even remember all of their names. You might be surprised to hear that there was a time long ago when Santa's sleigh was pulled not by a team of reindeer, but by one single horse named Silverbell. I'm sure that was different times, right,
way
Santa?
back. That's going way back.
Right?
Yep,
You didn't have as many toys to deliver to the children.
Not then. Not then. We only
had...
needed one horse to pull the sleigh.
Wow. In those days, Santa did not have quite as many toys to deliver as he does now. But over the years, as more and more children believed in the magic of Christmas, Santa's list grew longer and longer. And his sleigh grew heavier and heavier. Santa knew that pretty soon, dear old Silverbell was going to need some help. This is a story how an ordinary family of reindeer became the most famous animals in the world. And it never would have happened if there wasn't a brave young doe named Dasher.
Right.
All right, Santa, you ready to take it away
I'm
for
ready.
us? I'm very excited to read this story with you today.
Okay. Life was not easy for the reindeer family of J.P. Finnegan's traveling circus and menagerie. They spent long days crammed together under the hot sun as an endless stream of curious people jostled to catch a glimpse of them. Even at night, there was little rest. Some nights, to pass the time, Mama would tell stories. It was a magical place, she would say. The air was crisp and cold, and the ground was always covered with a cool blanket of white snow. Your father and I were free to roam under the glow of the North Star. Dasher, the youngest reindeer, loved Mama's stories. "Is that the North Star, Mama?" she asked. "The very same," Mama said. "We always knew we were home when it was directly overhead." "I wish I could go there," said Dasher. Mama sighed. "I do too," she said. "But Mr. Finnegan is not kind to animals who try to escape." One night, mighty winds shook the circus tents and rattled the animals' cage. Dasher was wide awake, wishing on the North Star, when she was startled by a loud creak. The gate to their pen had swung open. Dasher could hear rustling from the inside of Mr. Finnegan's trailer. She glanced up at the North Star. She looked back at her sleeping family. She knew that this might be her only chance. Her heart pounded. She took a deep breath, and then she ran as fast as she could. On she went for hours, with the North Star as her guide. But no matter how far she traveled, it was still way off on the horizon. There in the clearing, Dasher saw a man and a horse. "I'm sorry, Santa," said the horse. "The sleigh is just too heavy this year." The man smiled. "Now don't you worry, Silverbell," he said. "We'll take all the breaks you need." "But the children," said the horse, "they'll be heartbroken if we can't deliver all these toys by Christmas morning." "Children?" thought Dasher. She stepped forward. "Maybe I can help," she said. "Hello there," the man said. Dasher walked closer. The man smiled. "Have you ever pulled a sleigh?" he asked. Dasher shook her head. "I've never even seen a sleigh," she said, "but I pull wagon just about every night." "Well," said the man, "how would you like to make a whole bunch of children really happy on Christmas morning?" "I would like that very much," said Dasher. Santa thanked Dasher and attached her harness. It was so soft against her fur, and its jingling bells made the most beautiful sound she had ever heard. Santa climbed into his sleigh. Dasher pulled with all her might. Then suddenly the load felt lighter. Dasher looked down. They were flying. All night, Dasher and Silverbell pulled Santa's sleigh through the air as Santa guided it from rooftop to rooftop, delivering toys to children everywhere. Dasher had never experienced such a thrill, and she ate so many carrots she felt like she would burst. She was having so much fun, she forgot all about the North Star. As the first sight of dawn appeared on the horizon, they landed. The air was crisp and cold. The ground was covered with a cool blanket of white snow. Dasher searched for the North Star on the horizon, but couldn't find it anywhere. Santa smiled. "Dasher," he said, "look up." And there it was, directly overhead. "Is that the North Star?" she asked. Santa's eyes twinkled. "Merry Christmas," he said, "and welcome home." Yeah. The North Pole was just as wonderful as Mama's stories. Dasher roamed wherever she pleased, and Santa gave her all the carrots she wanted. But something was missing. "I love it here," she told Santa, "but I miss my family. I wish we could be together." Santa smiled. "That's your best wish yet, Dasher," he said. "Let's go find them." Late that night, Dasher guided Santa's sleigh all the way to J.P. Finnegan's traveling circus and menagerie. "Mama, Papa," Dasher whispered, "everyone wake up." Mama lifted her head. "Dasher," she said, "is it really you?" "It's me, Mama," said Dasher. She told her family all about Santa and Silverbell and how the North Pole was as amazing as Mama's stories. "But I miss you," she said. "You were all I wished for." Dasher led her family to Santa's sleigh, and Santa attached their harnesses. "You're not going to believe this part," she said. When Christmas Eve arrived, Silverbell watched as Santa prepared his team. "Are you sure you don't want to come?" asked Dasher. "I'm sure," said Silverbell. "I know the 8 of you will do a fine job." Late that night, as Santa and his new team of reindeer soared around the world, he called them by name the very first time. "Now Dasher, now Prancer, now Dancer and Vixen, O Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen." On Christmas morning, after all the toys had been delivered, they flew back to the North Pole, where they still live happily today. There, the air was crisp and cold. The ground is always covered with a cool blanket of white snow. And Dasher has everything she ever wished for.
Thank you, Santa.
All righty.
That was a great story.
That's a good story. That's how we got the 8 reindeer.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yep.
So now I have a question for you, Santa.
Okay.
So what does Silverbell do now that she's not on part of your team?
Silverbell is retired. She spends days out in the pasture, and at night she sleeps in the barn.
Oh, very nice. I love to hear that. Well,
Okay.
thank you guys for joining us for a very special story time here at Jones Family Farms. And thank you, Santa, for coming and visiting
Okay,
today.
thank you for asking me, and happy holidays to everyone.
Merry Christmas.
From all the farmers here at Jones Family Farms, thank you for listening to Storytime. We hope to see you visiting our farms and participating in bringing in the harvest. Our website is the best resource to answer questions regarding any of the seasons on our farm.